Yeah, hi, and welcome to this Facebook Live. This is HealthierLife.tv, and if you remember, we spoke about how you can improve your heart health, and that was last week, and that was part one of the health protocol. This is part two, and that is how your gut health affects your whole body. Now, Healthier Life TV wants to inspire people of all ages to live a life of complete health through education and information. Now, we cover all aspects of health, wellness, sports and fitness. Now, the sports and fitness is dealt with on the health angle on Wednesdays. So it's more towards health and fitness on a Friday. So my name's Paul Bursey, and as I say, welcome and good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whoever, whatever, there's people from all over the world watch this, and we're growing in numbers. So, yeah, it's important that we cover things to do with health and fitness so that, and we're here for educational purposes, okay? We are not health professionals in any way, shape or form, but we do research our subjects and try and give you the most accurate information. Now, my advice is find a health professional and talk to them if we spark anything that takes your interest. So let me just check one thing before we go any further. And yeah, hi Brian, it's good to see you, my fellow referee. We do training together and everything. I'm sure so Mukesh as well floating in somewhere, but yeah, welcome, and as I say, I'm going to get straight into this subject, which is how your gut health affects your whole body. And to be fair, not many people pay attention to the gut. Okay, so you're not alone. Those few that do know the benefits. Well, let's put it this way: you know the benefits when things go wrong. That's when you realize how well you were doing because you didn't have any problems for so long. But we all suffer. Now, I'm not necessarily talking about for you gentlemen. I know you ladies are well behaved, but us gentlemen sometimes go out and get a little bit drunk, and that actually causes you lots of problems next day, not only with headaches and things like that, but your stomach as well. So let's first of all, let me ask you a question. Does your gut affect your health, and does it affect your whole body? And only you can answer that. Now, the human gut is actually more complex than was previously thought of. It has a huge impact on your whole body health. A healthy gut contributes to a strong immune system. Now, some people pay attention to the immune system, some people don't. And I would say in these current circumstances, you're not going to get me to ever mention the name of what's going on at the moment, because I just don't do that. And one of the things, you flag yourself up to different people, and I don't want to do that. So it's very, very important that you have a strong immune system. That's all I'll say. Also, it can gut the strong immune system. Not only that, but heart health, brain health, improved moods. Again, very, very important. Healthy sleep, and effective digestion. These are the things that a properly working gut will take care of. And it may also help prevent some cancers and autoimmune diseases. So it is so important. And to be fair, as I said, most of us don't pay attention to it. The gut is very, very complex. At one time, our digestive system was considered a relatively simple body system. Okay, and if you think about us generally, we just think it is until it goes wrong. So we thought that when things went wrong, it was because there was a compromised long tube in our stomach or whatever, and we didn't feel well. But they thought that the long tube was literally just to pass food through to so that it could be absorbed. And then when we'd finish with it, it was then excreted. So that was the simplicity of what people used to think about. But you hear now the terms gut microbiome and gut microbiota. It's just, if you take it the healthier stomach, okay? The term gut microbiome refers specifically to the microorganisms living in yours and mine intestines, okay? Now, a person has between 300 and 500 different species of bacteria. So, and that's in their digestive tract. While some microorganisms are harmful to our health, many are incredibly beneficial and even necessary to a healthy body. So you can see how important this subject is. Now, I'm going to just get this technical bit out of the way. That's how I see it anyway, because I like simplicity. Having a whole wide variety of these good bacteria in your gut actually can enhance your immune system, the immune system function, and can improve symptoms of things like depression. So you can see where we're moving towards, how important it all is. They also help, or these the good bacteria help combat obesity. Again, if you think of how many people are overweight and obese, and it's I think I'm right in saying, without looking at any details, it's above 60%. That's huge. Okay, if you think, I don't know how many people live in this country, 67 million, 60%, and that includes kids as well, even more important. But there are obviously lots of other benefits as well. So now, obviously, this goes out on a podcast as well. So this is a Facebook Live. So people not only watch the Facebook when it's actually live, they'll go and look at the replay, and they'll obviously listen to the podcast as well. So for everyone on here, have you ever had any problems with your gut? Okay. By all means, let me know here. If you're listening live, just put a number 1. And if you're listening on the replay, just put 2. Or you can just put replay. But please let me know if you've ever had any gut problems and how you sorted them out. Some of you may still have them. There's lots of different problems you have with your stomach and everything. So if you've got any questions, having seen this, then please just let me know. And that's other health questions as well. It's not just about this. So let's talk about the 7 signs of an unhealthy gut. Now, you know a lot of them. There's so many different facets to modern life, such as high stress levels. Now, generally speaking, as you know, is well known if you've seen me before, I used to be in the police, and it's very easy to get stressed out doing that particular job. And I know there's other jobs that are probably more stressful, but I learned very early on how to manage. Brian, looking at you is upsetting my gut. Yeah, thanks, Brian. Okay, I'll trip you over next time we're training. So anyway, he's got me going now. So yeah, so high level stress is probably one of the biggest things that can upset your gut. Too little sleep. Again, we go back to the same things all the time. Sleep is so important. Now, one of these days, I'm going to actually do another Facebook Live on sleep, because there's other bits and pieces I want to talk about. Also, eating processed food and foods high in sugar, again, cause lots of problems with your gut over time. Now, it's like everything else. If you're doing things a little bit here and a little bit there, your stomach and your gut area basically is very good at dealing with things, and they won't be troubled by a few things. But if you were to eat processed food every day, you'd be causing problems over the years. Now, when we're younger, obviously, we don't have the same problems as we do when we're older. So you may go through the first 40 years of your life without any problems. But it does mount up. The problems do mount up. So if you're having takeaways every night, sooner or later, you will pay for it. Seriously. And I just hope you don't. I hope everyone doesn't get ill, but if you do lots of bad things, what we're talking about here, then in the end, it's gonna come back and haunt you. So now also taking antibiotics can damage your gut microbiome. Now the thing is, if you saw Wednesday's show when we were talking about the headaches, that sort of area. One of the big things that came up from Randall was the fact about antibiotics. Now, think about this: how often do you take paracetamols tablets for headaches or anything else? And there are other little tablets you can buy over the counter. One of the best ones is, one of the most used ones, apart from paracetamol, is the ones if you've got problems going to the loo. Okay, and I've known people use them for years, and it will just clog the system up and ruin it. So again, you've got to be careful how you use these things. Okay. So when we do things wrong, what happens when things in turn will affect other aspects of our health, such as the brain. Now there's the brain gut axis, which I'll talk about towards the end. But it will muck your heart up. It will muck your immune system up. Your skin will show it. A bit like if you're an alcoholic or someone who smokes all the time, the signs will show. Your face that people that you see tell everything about you, your health. Okay, so your weight is another one. Your weight will be up and down if your gut microbiome is not in sync. Hormone levels, another big one that's up and down. So, and the ability to absorb nutrients will be affected, which means if you're not healthy, and let's go down to cellular level, if you're not healthy, then the individual cells won't take in the nutrients, because maybe the cell is rock hard instead of being a bit moist and a bit flexible. And also you won't be able to get rid of waste. So lots going on if you don't get it right. Now, there are a number of ways an unhealthy gut might manifest itself, and there are some common signs, as we say. The number one thing is what we're all used to at some stage, and that is the upset stomach. And there's lots of things that can go wrong with that as well. So the number one thing that people talk about is gas, and I'm not going to talk about that too much. And but the second thing is bloating. Now, it's not so much with fellas that I've seen, but I see it a lot with women, and a lot, when they're going through the change. And the other thing is constipation. Again, I mentioned it earlier about not taking lots of those things to try and unblock yourself. There are healthy ways of doing it. Okay. Diarrhea is another one. Now, it could be that you've eaten something, a bit of food poisoning. There's lots of different things. But if your gut is healthy, it will probably deal with that small bit of poisoning, as it does on a daily basis. But when it gets overloaded with poison, that's when you get diarrhea. And it's not the poison that's going to kill you, but obviously the poison to the body. It's something it doesn't like. Heartburn, another great one. Okay, so if you get a lot of heartburn, it means there's something wrong with your gut. A balanced gut. Let's talk about the balanced gut for a moment. A balanced gut will have less difficulty processing food and eliminating waste if you don't get this right. Some people suffer for years. And now, just to let you know, I can talk to people about it. If you want to talk about it at any stage, I'm quite happy to. And you've got Minette saying, what do you suggest in place of antibiotics? Well, I'm steering away from Pacific products on this particular show. But if you want to know, then talk to me, private message me, and I will discuss it with you. This is, as I say, an education and informational program. But you do need probiotics and prebiotics. So that's the way I'm looking at it. You will want also a higher fiber diet. So so the other thing is, and this is another thing that will cause you problems, and that's a high sugar diet. a diet high in processed foods, as we mentioned before, will give you lots of problems with your guts if you keep doing it all the time. Anything with added sugars. So it's important that you do need sugars, by the way, but you don't need these ones that come from processed food. What we don't want to do is affect the good bacteria in the gut. And again, if you've got a varied diet, and that's obviously that you get that probably with any show I do on here, that you know what the score is. You know what you should be eating and what you shouldn't be eating. And I don't intend to go into it here too much. But now, what we're trying to avoid is an imbalance. Okay, and as I say, this is the second one. Next week will be brain health. Now, and the week after will be week 4 will be about inflammation. Now, or I will tie it all together at the end of week 4. And we do have a health protocol that I will be talking to you at some later stage. So this is to say number 2 of the health protocol. So an imbalance can cause increased sugar cravings. That's the other thing as well. So maybe you'll think, well, I've done pretty well. You know, I haven't eaten my Mars bar today. I've not eaten them for a week. But if for some reason that you have an unbalanced gut, it may, as I say, increase that craving to eat something maybe you shouldn't. I think those corn chips as well. I never eat them, but you know, I used to, when my girlfriend's house, or ex-girlfriend, basically she should have them there, and you know, and I had to eat them. And once you've had one, you know, you just have to eat half the packet or the whole packet. So again, eat those on a regular basis, and you've got problems because they've got high fructose corn syrup in them. So okay, right, what do we got next? Yeah, again, high amounts of refined sugars, and again, you know, it's the higher fructose corn syrup, which is more prevalent. Minute, whereabouts you from, Minute? Are you from the States or are you from this country? Because that's huge in the United States, and we do have some of it here. And that high fructose corn syrup has been linked to increased inflammation. Now, inflammation is one of those things that causes problems everywhere. The brain, the stomach, the heart, you know, intestines, everywhere. If you sprain your ankle or you've got a damaged knee, it's more inflammation. And it's the body's way of letting you know that you've got problems. So inflammation can be the precursor to a number of diseases and even some cancers. So Minette, you're in Florida. I've only ever been to Florida once. It's whereabouts in Florida are you from? Be interesting. Miami. So okay. So the second thing is unintentional weight changes. Now, gaining or losing weight without making changes to your diet or exercise habits may be a sign of an unhealthy gut. So sometimes you're sitting there and you think, oh, I've got a bit of a fat stomach here, and I've not really done very much different than I normally do. So you know, that's the time you want to pay attention to these little weight changes. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So they're American football team, I believe. But okay, so an imbalanced gut can just impair your body or your body's ability to absorb the nutrients, and that, you know, if it does that, then you've got problems because it's the nutrients that keep you healthy. Okay. They also regulate blood sugar as well, and it affects how you store fat, and that's the reasons why, and that's one of the biggest reasons why you need to have a balanced diet. So again, we haven't got time on here really to go through absolutely everything. It's just really just to give a few ideas about what might be going wrong. Now, weight loss may be caused by a small intestinal bacteria overgrowth as well, while weight gain may be caused by an insulin resistance. So again, you know, pay attention to what's happening with your body. Or you may have the urge to overeat, and that's due to a decreased nutrient absorption. So again, you're not getting the good stuff into the cells. The fourth thing is sleep disturbances or constant fatigue. Now, sleep is one of those really important things which I love to get right. Don't always get it right, but I find if I have at least 6 hours, I'm normally okay. I aim for 7, and I've had 8 hours once this week. But generally speaking, you've really got to go for 7 or 8 hours. Now, the other thing is I do little cat naps during the day. Now, I don't know if it's because of my age. I don't know. But I'll tell you what, if you set the old alarm for 20 to 30 minutes and you feel great afterwards, any more than 30 minutes and you're going to get that horrible sick feeling. But again, it's my little secret weapon. So just in case, because you do wake up during the night and sometimes you do get disturbed sleep. And now an unhealthy gut may contribute to sleep disturbances such as insomnia or just poor sleep. And that will lead to chronic fatigue. So if it's done over time, so we don't want that, you know. And now also the majority of the body's serotonin, which is the good mood hormone that affects mood and sleep, is produced in the gut. So that's another reason why you need to get the gut right. So gut damage, it can impair your ability to sleep well. And some sleep disturbances have also been linked to a risk of fibromyalgia. So I can never pronounce that right. So that's again, it's a very, very important. And we will go into these subjects in more detail in future shows on that. So now number 5 is skin irritation. And the one we're really looking at is probably eczema, maybe acne as well. And if you get, if you have a damaged gut in some way, then inflammation in the gut will be caused by poor diet or food allergies. And the outward sign will be something like eczema. So also, if you ever heard of gut leaks as well, all this basically is there's gaps in the lining of your stomach and intestines and that. And basically you've got proteins are leaking and causing problems that will get through and irritate the skin. So again, that's another reason to pay attention to a healthy diet. Now, as I said before, the healthy diet that I follow is basically the Mediterranean diet as much as I can. But you don't always do it. We don't always do it, do we? So obviously, new evidence is also always emerging about the impact on the gut and on the immune system. We're talking about autoimmune conditions here. An unhealthy gut may increase systematic inflammation, as I mentioned before, and alter the proper functioning of the immune system. This can lead to autoimmune diseases, where the body attacks itself rather than the harmful bacteria. And again, that's a huge problem. So, okay, so does anyone here have any food intolerances or food allergies? Very, very important. Again, this is another area that can affect you very much. Now, food intolerances are a result of difficulty in digesting certain foods. Now, this is different to food allergies. Food allergies are far more dangerous and can actually kill if you're not careful. Now, obviously, your immune system will react to what you eat. Okay, so you need to know, what you're eating. So if you know that you're, let's say, you've got a food allergy for nuts, peanuts, and things like that, then you really have to pay attention, because if things go wrong, the throat can close up and you can asphyxiate. So if you could be on your own. So you're lucky if you're with someone or someone can save your life. But as I say, things like that. So, and there's different varying degrees, because obviously some things can just cause you problems. It's thought that food intolerances may be caused by a poor quality of bacteria. Again, we go back to the diet all the time, you know. Now, this can lead to difficulty in digesting. The trigger foods and unpleasant symptoms such as bloating, gas, we've mentioned them before, diarrhea, abdominal pain on its own, which is horrible. There is some evidence that, yeah, I've forgotten what I was going to say. Let's forget that and move on. But yeah, there's so pay attention to the allergies and the intolerances. So let's talk about. Has anyone got any questions at this stage? If so, please let me know, and I'll try and answer them as much as I can. If not, what I'll do, if I can't answer them now, I'll go away and research it, and obviously come back and let you know individually, as well as maybe on the next Facebook Live. So, so 7 ways to improve gut health. Now, it doesn't take a lot of working out, you know, and obviously what we're going to talk about is, first of all, lowering your stress levels. Now, I'm not going to go into it. We all live individual lives. Some of us stress more than others, and that's just the way it is. But look, what can you do? What can you do? Breathing, deep breathing is a very, very good one, you know, and especially if you get angry. But driving, especially driving's awful. It used to be for me. So I learned how to deal with it. I'm not 100% there yet, but one of the big things I do now is, and you'll hear me mention this all the time, is meditate. Now, learn how to meditate. It will be one of the best things you ever do in your life. So I'm not really going to go into that here. I do a lot of walking. Again, it gives you time to be on your own and think. I hadn't done this for a long time. Getting a massage, and I think when I go to the States, it seems to be far more available. I don't know. It's they have these little shopping malls, and there always seems to be some kind of Asian massage place there. Another great way of chilling out is just having maybe a beer, coffee, spending time with friends or family that you don't see all the time. Using essential oils is another one. Again, we go back to massage, and but I don't know you, but I also decrease my caffeine intake. I limit myself now to 3 cups of tea a day. I don't have caffeine free. I just limit myself on those. If I have an additional coffee, then that will be caffeine free. I don't want any more than that. Okay, now I have them early during the day as well, as most of the fluids that I drink. A great way of lowering stress levels is comedy, laughing, also yoga. I haven't done Pilates, never seen it, but I'm sure that's probably on the list as well. And also having a pet. Okay, and you know, stroking that if it's a cat, maybe taking the dog out for a walk, and you know, there's lots of ways that you can obviously lower your stress levels. And I learned at work never ever to stress anything I did at work. And it took me, how long did it take me? Probably 18 years to get to that stage. So I spent the next 15 years stress-free, whatever happened. And I didn't care what happened, didn't take it home, never stressed out about it. And that was worth its weight in gold, just doing that. Second thing, we've spoken about getting enough sleep. Third thing really is eating slowly. Now, this is one I don't really do too well at. I do eat fast, reasonably fast. Probably don't chew my food enough, and you do pay the price at some stage. And really, what you want to do is enjoy your food. And I'm probably from the police I used to be in. I ate when we could, the old army mentality, eat it down, eat it quickly, get moving, because you never know what's going to happen. You're going to be called out on an emergency, and sometimes you have to leave your food behind. Well, I didn't like that idea, so I made sure I ate everything. So another one we talk about a lot, and that's stay hydrated. Again, you choose how you do this. But one of the big things about staying hydrated, there's lots of them, is that drinking plenty of water is beneficial to the lining of the intestines, as well as the balance of the good bacteria in the gut as well. And it's a simple way of ensuring, or one way of ensuring, that you go to the loo well and fairly easily and regularly. Okay, so sometimes if you're having problems, going to the loo, look at your fiber intake, look at what you're eating, and I will say keep a food diary. Again, this is crucial. Sorry, the thing the other day was migraines, by the way. I just totally went out of my head. But again, all these things, they relate to migraine as well. So, and it comes a lot from the gut. So again, we mentioned earlier about taking prebiotics and probiotics. Again, I'm not going to go into that in a deep way, because we'll probably do another show about that. And by keeping a food diary, you can then look to change your diet if you're finding that you're not healthy. Okay, I'd also suggest getting a coach as well. So at this stage, has anyone got any questions that they want to ask at all? We've done over 30 minutes now. I don't really want to go too much further than this. And yeah, so you could go on all day about healthy gut. And as I say, I'll tie this all together on week 4 when we talk about inflammation. And there is a way of getting all of this right with a few easy steps. So anyway, I've enjoyed doing this. If there's anything I've missed that you want to know about to do with gut health, then as I say, I'll go away and research it, or if I've missed it, and I apologize. But now, if you found this useful in any way, shape or form, please like the video, and make a mention, put a comment on here. If you found it useful, again, share it with someone else. That'd be great. And now I look forward to next week, the brain health. Again, is a big, as I say, thing about big thing about the gut brain axis. And again, I'll cover it more next week. I think that we've had enough today, or I've had enough. Anyway, look, have a fantastic weekend, and try not to get too drunk. Try not to eat too much, and gorge yourself too much. Do little cheats by all means, but just take it easy. Okay. Anyway, it's been great. I've enjoyed it. So see you soon.